What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 back in the house for another DVD and Blu-ray haul for the month of March. This is everything that I got in the month of March. A lot of this stuff is actually stuff that I had pre-ordered and was also waiting for in February that just showed up. A lot of this stuff took forever to come. I haven't actually ordered anything in the last 3 weeks since I was forced to shut down my shop due to the coronavirus. I've been in full quarantine for like 3 weeks, so I haven't really been ordering anything. So I'm going to have like a minor update at the end of April, maybe like 7-8 movies that are still supposedly coming. So, but with that said, man, this is everything that I, managed to get in the month of March, which is actually quite a bit because I was waiting on a lot of stuff in February. So it kind of panned out that I haven't really been buying anything and a lot of the stuff actually showed up. So, but with that said, I hope everyone's staying safe out there. And on with the update, man. Let's get into this. I picked up one DVD. I don't know why I didn't have this before. I actually own 2 of the movies that are on this triple pack, but I picked up the Ripper Blood Pack, released from VCI. This is actually not the fat version. It's supposed to be the re-release version or something like that. 3 shot-on-video films, all directed by Christopher Lewis. The Ripper and Blood Cult both came out in 1985, and Revenge also came out in 1986. And then he just got away from doing horror films. In the 90s, he just started doing crime and comedy and a whole pile of shit. But these are like the only 3 horror films he ever did, which is kind of shitty. But in my opinion, 3 of the better shot-on-video films ever done out there. The Ripper is fantastic. It does have Tom Savini in it. I don't know if he actually did any of the effects in it. From what I heard, I don't think he did. But the effects and production value for that shot-on-video film, obviously based on Jack the Ripper, is quite high. The acting's good. Everything about the movie's got pretty decent production quality, with the exception of it just being shot on video. But Blood Cult's classic. And of course, the Revenge is the sequel to Blood Cult. But 3 fun shot-on-video films. I picked this up because I actually needed Ripper. Needed to rewatch it for the Top 10 in 1985 show that we got coming up. So, and I've already rewatched Blood Cult. But really fun stuff. These are all on their separate discs, which is cool. So if you're into these type of films, things coming apart. It's actually not broken, but it's coming apart. But whatever. The Ripper Blood Pack, so not as good as Video Violence, but in my opinion, I'm a little bit biased. This is my favorite movie, so shot on video film. But that's it for the DVDs. 1 DVD, man. They're getting so far in between now. If you're wondering out there why I'm in the music room, is because it's the quietest room in the house. I've got 3 dogs. It's the middle of the day. I have a crazy wife. I have a crazy kid. So just trying to keep things down, volume-wise. So that's why I'm in here. Plus, it's the only room in the house that has carpet, so it doesn't echo as much in here. So it's nice. I digress. Into the Blu-rays. From AGFA, we got the double feature of Satan's The Devil's Mass and Satan's Children. Jesus, I'm having a hard time reading that. Sorry about the glare, guys. The glare is just... Can't do anything about it in this room. It's bad. This is pretty cool, man. 2 kind of satanic cult films from the 70s. Satan's The Devil's Mass from 1970 and Satan's Children from 1975. 2 films I've never seen before. I'm assuming these are part of the Something Weird library that AGFA has been releasing, so that's pretty cool. I really like a lot of the releases these guys have done. I've been trying to collect them all and stuff. I'm just kind of picking them off one by one, getting the ones that I really want right now, and then I'll go back and grab the other ones. And of course my heat just kicked on, so that should be loud. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. That's pretty cool. Next up here from Garage House Pictures, we got Bloodstalkers. I was caught up until they just released the Trailer Trauma, the action edition of that, so I still need to pick that up, but I'm going to get a couple months behind on releases, obviously, because I can't really order a lot of stuff because the no income coming in, but also the Amazon from out of countries don't ship right now either, so that's kind of a problem for me, but whatever, it is what it is. We'll get through this. But Bloodstalkers, I've been wanting to get this one for a long time, man. It's from 1976. I've heard actually it's pretty bad, but I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. But Garage House Pictures actually does really good restorations on these type of films, so looking forward to that shit right there. Picked up a couple Severin titles. I generally only pick these up when I'm shopping like WoW HD and stuff, but it seems like all the ones that they have, or the ones that I want, they have them on back order. So, but these were 3 that I actually had on a list to get, and they actually had in stock, so I picked them up. And that's Jack the Ripper. This is a version of the Jack the Ripper story from 1959, which I've always been intrigued by this. Always been intrigued by this, and it's quite interesting because it's a black and white film, and apparently the third act or the climax of the film is actually done in bloody Technicolor. So that's kind of interesting. They went to color for the climax of the film. So pretty interesting stuff. I know this is pretty notorious UK film. So, but yeah, Jack the Ripper from Severin. Look forward to checking that shit out. Man, it took me way too long to get this, but I still haven't watched this. I just got these in the mail. But Robo War, directed by Vincent Don, a.k.a. Bruno Mattei. Another collabo with Claudio Fragasso. All the films that these guys have done together, especially in this time period, were basically just complete ripoffs. This one in particular is a Predator slash RoboCop ripoff, as you can see by Robo War. So looking forward to checking this out, man. I love their collabo films, man. They're so hilariously awesomely bad. That was just terrible grammar, but yeah, no, you know what I mean. They're straight Italian ripoffs, but fun. Robo War. And last up for the Severin titles I picked up, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory. Yeah, this is another Italian film that is right from about the start of Italian cinema, like horror in cinema. 1961 black and white film. So I'm very curious to check this out. I've never seen this one. And yeah, I got to definitely jump on this because there's not a lot of horror films from that, especially like the early parts I haven't seen from Italy, and this is one of them. So pretty looking forward to this one. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's got this pretty cool booklet with it too, actually. It's nice and heavy duty. I like that. But yeah, Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory. Cool. 1961. Moving on to a couple massacre titles that I picked up. Final Stab, directed by David Ducaccio. Man, David Ducaccio, man, like his early stuff is quite interesting, and stuff with Full Moon, and he very hit and miss director, man. He had a few good years there, and then he started doing like crazy bad films in the 2000s. I've actually never seen this one. It's from 2001. Such an odd release for Massacre Video to do, because they really do focus on very obscure shot on video, like just obscure films in general. This one's not overly that obscure, so very interesting release for Massacre Video. But yeah, it is what it is. I didn't get the slipcover. I didn't really care. But yeah, Final Stab, needed it for it because I love Massacre Video releases. This one I thought was quite interesting too. American Rampage and Danger USA, directed by Emas Dimitris. I don't know, butchering the shit out of that name. Double action feature for Massacre Video. I thought this was another strange choice for them to release because they haven't released anything like this. Like I said, they focus on obscure shot on video and horror, but this is like odd action. I'm believing from the 89. It says 89, maybe for both films. I don't know. I don't really know much about these, but I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm really looking forward to this. Oh, it says directed by prolific Full Moon Features alumni David Ducaccio. American Rampage was. Okay. Oh, it even says up in the corner, David Ducaccio. I didn't even know that. So that's just by chance. Now it makes sense. So they obviously worked out a deal with David Ducaccio to release some of his films. So, wow, learning shit as I'm doing these. But yeah, like I said, don't know much about them, but looking forward to checking them out. This is fucking awesome. Man, Umbrella's released so many. They've had so many cool releases, man. But Day of the Panther and Strike of the Panther, 2 films by Brian Tenchard Smith. Exploitation films. This is awesome. I've seen Day of the Panther. I've never seen the sequel, Strike of the Panther, which is funny too because they actually came out in the same year. I think both were 1988 films, but if you can pick up The Man from Hong Kong, that release, Brian Tenchard Smith film, it actually comes with like 4 other full-length features, a couple documentaries, films, and things like that. It's an amazing release from Umbrella. So glad to see they're still releasing some more of this Tenchard Smith stuff. Because, you know, you can never have enough exploitation films, right? So that's pretty cool, man. Very excited to dip into these. But again, I can't wait to see the transfer on Day of the Panther. It's so cheesy. From Black Fawn Distribution, we got Harpoon. I love this retro slipcover that they did on this. It's really cool, man. Like I said, I'm not a big, I don't really care about slipcovers over that much. But I do like them when they change it up from, the artwork in the keep case. But it's a nice little cool retro kind of throwback slipcover type deal for a really amazing film. I loved Harpoon from last year. It was great. It's basically kind of about these these three people that are kind of stuck on a boat dealing with their personal issues and shit. It's fucking awesome, man. Really, really great dialogue. There's just some good twists and turns in here, but it's fun. Really, really highly recommend Harpoon, Canadian film. So check it out. Yeah. Couple 88 film releases here from the Italian line. We got, I'll start with this one. Number 56 in the line, which is Paranoia, directed by Umberto Lenzi. This is actually a giallo I've never seen before. Also known as, what's the alternate title for this? I totally just had it too. It doesn't say on here. Fuck. It does have an alternate title that I knew it under, and it's slipping my mind right now. But then when they released it under Paranoia, I was like, what movie is that? So I had to look into it. But yeah, it was. 1970 giallo from Umberto Lenzi. Sign me up. Next up here, we got the sequel from 1978, Brothers Will Die. This is the sequel to Rome Armed to the Teeth, which is fantastic, man, because Grindhouse just released that, so that's pretty fucking cool. Brothers Till We Die, crime, police chessy film. Yeah, I hate saying that word. I butcher the shit out of that every single time. But yeah, this is number 57. And yeah, like I said, the rest of my stuff from the UK is probably not going to be showing up for months. So I have stuff on pre-order. It doesn't seem like they're going to be shipping any of the stuff. You can't even order from the UK. I even, just to see if you could order, I had a couple things in my cart and it just wouldn't ship to me. So it is what it is. We'll get caught up in months when we get all the shit straightened out. But it is what it is, man. Continuing with 88, I had actually ordered these way back in February, and it took forever to come, obviously, because of what's going on and shit, but it actually took, like, way fucking, because they shipped way before the shit, like, kind of hit the fan, and it just still took forever. It was nuts. But Jackie Chan's To Kill with Intrigue. This is a film from 1977, like a period piece, kind of romance type style film. Not really my favorite Jackie Chan film. It does have great fight scenes and things like that, but I felt it ran a little bit long, and I'm not really into the whole romantic kind of kung fu elements and things like that, but it's still decent for what it is. Definitely not my favorites of these Jackie Chan films I picked up, but To Kill with Intrigue, it's still pretty decent. Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. This one is from 1978. This is a pretty fun film about Jackie Chan. You know, he's got this book that a whole pile of like rival kung fu artists and shit are after because it's, you know, it's very magical and stuff. And so he's got to fight off all these people while he's looking for somebody. You know, he's got his own agenda. Great fight scenes in this one. I thought this was a blast. Really, 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 really fucking fun. But man, I always love these original poster arts, man. Like these Hong Kong poster arts. Fantastic stuff. Next up, picked up Dragon Fist, this one from 1979. Pretty much a straight-up revenge film. Jackie Chan, he's avenging his master's death and shit like that. You know, his storylines aren't that crazy, but it's funny because it actually says on the back here, avenging the death of his master. Chan is in fine form as he gets tangled up in a sort of convoluted and carnage-packed plot. That golden age kung fu classics all too well. It's so true though, man, because the plot, like the narrative in this is just all over the place, man. I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, am I missing shit here? And then I read it on the back, I'm like, oh, it actually says it's a little bit convoluted. So I was like, whatever, we're not really watching this shit for like straight up like previous, you know, plot points and stuff, man. We're looking for the choreographed of the fight scenes and shit. But Jackie Chan, he's in good form in this one, man. Dragon Fist, really fun stuff. And then Battle Creek Brawl, which was his American film debut, actually, from 1980. This one was fun. It's a little bit disappointing because I'm not overly the hugest comic kung fu fan. Like, it's like comedic spaghetti westerns. I kind of get a little off-put. It's in the same vein as this, man. It's like when you put comedy in with... I just like my kung fu shit to be a little bit more serious, man. It's still kind of fun, though. This is actually the very first Jackie Chan film you ever get to hear Chan's real voice, because even in his Hong Kong films, they still dubbed his voice for the different markets. So it's kind of interesting. He's actually got pretty damn good English, man. For 1980, I was quite surprised. I thought maybe it would have been a little bit more broken for the time, but no, it actually is pretty fun film, though. It wasn't as goofy as I was expecting it to be. There was a couple scenes in the beginning that were kind of off-putting. I was like, oh no, this shit's gonna be way too goofy for me, but it's got this really silly kind of street fighting storyline to it and shit. But overall, it was kind of fun. I recommend it, man. Directed by Robert Claus, so cool stuff. You know that it's gonna have decent production value to it. So And the last one up from 88 Films, which I didn't get the next one, number 25. They never shipped it, so that's one I'm going to have to be sitting on for months. But Come Drink With Me, which I can't remember the title of it, from the Shaw Brothers line, which I absolutely fucking love these. I think I have the slipcover for this. I don't know. I do have a couple slipcovers over here. I always take these off because I prefer them without them. So, but yeah, number 24 in the Shaw Brothers line. So that's pretty cool. Actually, if I do have a couple of these. You know, I had the slipcover for Paranoia. If you guys are even interested, Brothers Till We Die. Come Drink With Me. Here's the slipcover for that one. And to Kill with Intrigue. Got one of the four. But yeah, I prefer them without the slipcovers because they just look better to me on the shelf. It's OCD shit, man. Yeah, so moving along. Just got my Vinegar Syndrome package for the March package yesterday, April Fool's Day. Took forever. It's crazy. But we got Melly Bimbo. I actually have the DVD for this, but this is cool, man. You know, it's straight up like uncut. I think the Severin release of this was uncut. Yeah, I can't remember. And it's fully uncut and uncensored. So I think the Severin DVD might be the same cut. I can't remember. I'm going to have to take a look at that. But Melly Bimbo, straight up exploitation, hardcore type, nunsploitation type shit, man. I actually really dig this movie. It's quite fun. Directed by Andrea Bianchi, which is pretty cool. Italian film. So Melly Bimbo, looking forward to checking that out. Can't really show the back. It's got some naked titties on it, man. And then we got Olivier, which I do actually have the 88 film slasher, the 88 slasher collection version of this, which I picked this up because it's Vinegar Syndrome, and I just have to because of Vinegar Syndrome. Also known as Prosy and Double Jeopardy. Prosy, I believe, is the British word for prostitute. I think that's why it's under that title. And then, of course, Double Jeopardy, which kind of plays into the narrative, too. It's an okay film. It's not really the greatest, but, I'll check it out again. Yeah. So I could probably get rid of my slasher collection version of the... I just have no use for it. I never collected that line anyways because I had pretty much all of them on different lines, so... Then we got Deadline, a film I actually don't know shit about. I won't lie. This one kind of shocked me. But, I mean, again, it's Vinegar Syndrome. They do seem to release a lot of obscure things and stuff. But this is one I'd actually never heard of. This is 1980. And it's actually quite crazy, too, because this one says one of the true hidden gems of Canadian horror cinema. And me being Canadian and being kind of a scholar in Canadian horror, I'd never heard of this. Unless it goes underneath a different title, which it quite possibly can. It doesn't really seem to have another title on here, but I don't know. I'm curious as fuck to check this out, man. But Deadline, Canadian Canucksploitation, fuck, man, sign me up, man. Pretty cool. Really looking forward to checking this one out, man. 1980, awesome. And yeah, so last up for the Vinegar Syndromes, we got Hell Riders. This is part of the VSA line, the Vinegar Syndrome archive line, which are all hand numbered. I got number 457 of 3,000. Oh yeah, it's gonna focus. Wow, crazy. I really like this line with these slipcovers, these hard box kind of bottom loaders and shit. So I'm looking forward to checking out this one. So far the movies in this line have been pretty hit and miss. A couple of them have been decent, a couple of them have been pretty shitty, but this one actually looks pretty damn cool, man, I gotta say. It's from 1984. Directed by James Bryan. A spectacularly trashy and weird 80s biker film from Exploitation Dream Team. Brian James, Don't Go in the Woods. Of course, Executioner Part 2. And Renee Harmon, who did Frozen Scream. So this shit is going to be crazy bad acting and just shitty all over the place, probably. But Frozen Scream is one of the fucking worst movies ever. Like, it legitimately is horrible. It's so damn entertaining in this bizarre, horrible way. It's crazy. You can't... It's a fucking train wreck, man. You're just watching shit. You can't look away. It's crazy. Don't Go in the Woods. Everyone knows my love for that movie. I love that shit. It's awesome. Executioner Part 2 is horrible too, but it's fun. Which there actually is no Part 1 to that movie. Hell Riders. Looking forward to checking that out. Awesome shit. And that's it for the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. On to the Scream Factory stuff. And then we'll finish it up with just some Western stuff. I left that to the end. So first up, finally got around to picking up the Mangler. And you're probably wondering, like, why did it took you so long to grab the Mangler? Because, you know, it's such an awesome film. No, it's not really that. It's another kind of average Tobe Hooper film, you know, adaptation of a Stephen King story. The reason why I never grabbed this one is because it actually wasn't available, you know, on Amazon in Canada for some reason. So I had to order this from WoW HD. And I found that out. I was on the Scream Factory sale, and I was just kind of clicking on things and shit, and I was curious about how much the shipping was going to be, and I put this into my cart, but then it says it wouldn't ship to me, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that Scream Factory had titles that were only available in America and Canada, and some they just won't ship overseas and stuff, and I was like, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that, but this is one of them, so it took me so long to grab this. I haven't watched a Mangler in years, to be honest, so I gotta recheck it out. I do have the 3 films on DVD and shit, but yeah, man, that glare is bad. It is horrible. But yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out again, man. What year did this come out? 1995, mid-90s. Just got this one in the mail the other day, Monster Go Home. I haven't seen this movie in years and years and years. I remember it being so goofy, like just ridiculous goofy. Yeah, it's the, I think it was the first TV movie that they had done in 1966, Monster Go Home, so yeah. Fucking Munsters, man. The Munsters are awesome. So, can't wait to recheck that one. I actually might watch it with my kid. Scream Factory released Bones on DVD. Wow, so now I can get rid of my... Or on Blu-ray, so now I can get rid of my DVD. I haven't seen this in years and years. I don't think I actually ever watched my DVD that I picked up, to be honest. I used to have it on VHS, but I got rid of that years ago. Upgraded to the DVD, never checked it out. There's the noises. Yep. But I remember it not being great. But at least it has Pam Grier in it, though. That's kind of cool, so, yeah. Bones, pretty awesome stuff. This was I can't believe this, man. I actually have the DVD for this, too. Frankenstein, the True Story. This is like this epic TV version of the Frankenstein story. 183 minutes. Like I said, I do have the DVD, and the DVD looks like shit, too. Like, really, really bad stuff. Yeah, the 2-part television mini movie event. Mini, I wouldn't say it's mini. It's like fucking 183 minutes long. I remember this shit being pretty boring, I'm not gonna lie. I find that like a lot of these adaptations of like Mary Shelley's, like straight up adaptations are kind of a little bit boring. I don't know, man. But this one, I just feel like it's way too damn long. But I gotta revisit it. I mean, obviously, got the Blu-ray, so I'll revisit that soon. Then we got Bug. When did this come out? 75. Love this movie, man. Love this. Can't wait to check this out on Blu-ray. Produced by William Castle. Creature feature. Or insect feature. Whatever you want to call it. But this is a great film. Love Bug. Love Bug. Love Bug Starsky. Picked up Inseminate, which is cool that this finally got an American Region 1 release. 1981. Norman J. Warren. I rewatched this the other day. It's essentially an Alien ripoff that's a little bit boring at times, but it does look good on Blu-ray, though, I will say. I don't mind it, though. I've never really been the hugest fan of this. I actually like some of Norman J. Warren's other films better than this one. But the cool thing about this release is that it actually has a very English exploitation, Inseminate, and the shock cinema Norman J. Warren 90-minute documentary on here. So I got to check that out, man. That's amazing that there's a full-length documentary. I love when these releases have full-length documentaries. You just can't beat that shit. That's really worth the price of admission. So, but yeah, Inseminate, that's cool. I feel like the stack is going to tumble over. It's sitting on a crate of vinyl right now, so I don't know how that's actually going to work itself out. The House of Bill Jack finally got this in the mail because this was another one that I learned that wasn't available in Canada, so I had to order it from WoW HD and get it in because I was like, why the fuck is there no Prime on this one, man? Yeah, it wasn't available in Canada, so whatever, man. Love this Lars Van Trier film. I thought it was just so well done. It's really well done. Divine comedy elements. It's fucking sweet, dude, man. This is really, it's just worth it, man. I can't wait to. Yeah, that's right. I think I haven't seen the director's cut, which apparently is only 1 minute longer. So I've seen the theatrical, which is 1 minute shorter. I don't know. But this actually made my top 10 a couple years ago. Loved it. Got this in the mail a couple days ago. Watched it last night, April Fool's Day. It's still okay. It's not like the greatest movie in the world. I mean, we all know what the major twist is in this film. I still think that they could have amped up, you know, the death scenes a little bit to make it a little bit better and shit. It's a little bit slow going. The characters are fun, though. There's some fun sequences in it, but, you know, I still have a lot of fun with it. So, but really, really adore that original artwork, man. It's awesome. And I gotta say, man, I'm actually a fan of this new commissioned artwork. I actually really like that. So, that's kind of cool. And last up for the Scream Factories, we got the Universal Horror Collection Volume 4, which I believe Volume 5 is... I think it just got pushed back. I think it's coming out in a couple months now or something like that. But I'm still loving these Universal Horror sets, man. I absolutely love these. You know, some more Lugosi on here and Karloff that are in a couple films. So this one has Night Key, Night Monster, The Climax, and House of Horrors, which I have actually not seen any of these. First one so far, I haven't seen any of them. So that's exciting. But yeah, loving these sets, man. These are actually from 37, 42, 44, and 46. So we're getting a little bit higher up in the Universal. Because they've kind of went in order. They started in the early 30s, worked their way through the 30s into the early 40s. Now we're getting into the mid 40s and stuff. So you can see where this is kind of going. It'll be in the 50s pretty quick. So, but yeah. All right. So that's it for the horror stuff. I picked up a few spaghetti westerns, or westerns and spaghetti westerns, I guess. So Aero had a sale a month and a half ago or something, flash sale, and I was going through the Aero video stuff, and I'd like the Aero stuff, and I had like everything, or I just didn't want some of the titles, so I was like, fuck it, this is the time I'm gonna knock off the Aero Academy westerns that I've had on the list to grab for a while, and so this is what I picked up. But first up, I did pick up My Name Is Nobody, the Terence Hill Henry Fonda film, scored by Ennio Morricone. Classic spaghetti western, man. Absolutely love this movie. I haven't seen it in years. I used to have the DVD, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. It's like the weirdest thing. So I can't wait to revisit this, man. But yeah, you gotta love this Henry Fonda Terence Hill film. It's amazing. Good shit. So on to the Aero Academy titles that I picked up on the sale. I got Ramrod. This is one I actually don't know much about. Yeah, 1947 film. But yeah, I think I've heard the title before. I actually don't know much about this one. So, but Ramrod, I've heard it's really good. And it's got to be. If it's on Aero Academy, it's got to be good. So, John Ford's My Darling Clementine, classic film with Henry Fonda. His name will pop up a few times in the next couple films here. But this is awesome. I haven't seen it in years, but I absolutely adore. Man, I'm a big Henry Fonda fan, and I love me some John Ford films. So, can't wait to revisit this one in a great high def transfer. Kids playing hockey outside. You can hear him hitting the fucking house. Little shithead. The Oxbow Incident. This one also has Henry Fonda in it. 1942. Never seen this one. Heard it's classic. So, Oxbow Incident. Henry Fonda. Fuck, this thing is totally gonna trip out, man. Next up here we got The Hired Hand. This is such a great movie. This one has Peter Fonda in it, Warren Oates. I mean, really, can you go wrong with Peter Fonda and Warren Oates in the same film? You really can't. 1971, Hired Hand. Who the fuck directed this one? That's right, Peter Fonda actually directed this movie. I knew that. So, great film. Can't wait to revisit that one right there. This one I have always wanted to check out. One-Eyed Jacks, starring Marlon Brando. He actually directed this movie too. I believe this was his directorial debut, I want to say. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think it's the first movie that he directed. Heard nothing but good things about this one, so I can't wait to check it out. I mean, who doesn't love Marlon Brando, man? It's fucking amazing. And last up for the titles here, man, I picked up The Far Country, directed by Anthony Mann, starring James Stewart. I believe this is like one of 5 or 6 westerns that they did together. You cannot go wrong with some James Stewart, Anthony Mann collabos. So this is one I've never seen before. Can't wait to check it out. Got slipcover with it. The Far Country. So, yeah, that's amazing. And that is going to do it for the update. Wow, I kept this update under 30 minutes because I hadn't watched a lot of this stuff. Maybe I should just not watch things so I can keep them under. But I kind of figured so. But yeah, so, I mean, I'll do what I get at the end of the month here. Like I said, I do have this month's Scream Factory stuff on pre-order, which is only like 3 titles that are even releasing. And I do have the Vinegar Syndrome April package coming in the post also, and I think there's 1 or 2 other things that were pre-ordered or things that were just on back order that have shipped. So it's going to be a really, really small update because I'm not going to be buying anything until we figure out our finance situation with this whole quarantine shit, man. It's just such a fucking headache, man. It's crazy. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the update, and I'll be back with speaking of shelf by shelf videos, I do have a couple filmed that I'll be uploading after this video, and then I'll continue to do those throughout the month. So I wanted to get this update out of the way before I did put those up on put them up public. So be on the lookout for those. So those are coming for the people that keep harassing the shit out of me about them. I'll get to those because those are easy to do and shit like that. So yeah, talk to you guys later, and as usual, deuces.